the best era a new gen has ever had in recent years. Now, I don't know what you guys probably think I mean by this, but what I actually mean by this is the fact that, bro, I'm basically talking about the years that a new gen basically took over and that best era, and I'm going to be ranking them. So let's get right into this shit. If you guys like these type of videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, man. Coming in the 5th spot here, we have 2020 Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, since this is based off new gens, this is not even the best year Jujutsu Kaisen has had, in my opinion. Although I wasn't that into anime back then, I still heard of Jujutsu Kaisen, which just speaks to how popular the series actually got in that era. And Gojo was quite literally in every single power scaling debate. And I won't lie, this era was a sick era. If it wasn't for Attack on Titan also taking over at the same time, it kind of, like, I wouldn't say take the spotlight away, but you have Jujutsu Kaisen, who was probably second place in that year to Attack on Titan's great popularity and everything like that. So yeah, honestly, I feel like 2020 Jujutsu Kaisen, I also joined at the end too. So if anyone was there from the start, maybe you guys could let me know how good it actually was. But yeah, man, this is going to be coming in at last place here. Coming in at 4th spot, we have 2022 Chainsaw Man. Now, Chainsaw Man is a very weird case because it's kind of the transition from a past era that I'm going to talk about in this video to a new era of itself where it kind of just fizzled out very quickly. This era, I think, lasted the majority of 2022, at least I'd say from when the trailer dropped in December all the way to when the anime dropped to, I'd say, a month after that. After the anime stopped airing, I'm not going to lie, the Chainsaw Man hype and aura just kind of dipped. I'm not going to lie to you. While the anime was coming out, it felt like the anime had more hype than it did when it was like actually like releasing episode after episode weekly. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was, but it's like this shit was grabbing 7 million views in one day. That's unheard of. Not even Attack on Titan was pulling these numbers back in the day. Not even Bleach could pull half of these numbers back today. So it goes to show you how hyped this series really was before it came out. And then when it actually came out, I feel like the adaptation was amazing. 10 out of 10, right? In my opinion. But I feel like the series just didn't garner that level of attention / hype that something like Jujutsu Kaisen did, which is something that it was being marketed after. Like, it was supposed to be a better Jujutsu Kaisen, you know what I mean? It was supposed to be up there with MHA, JJK, you know, all those big-ass new gens, but at least at this point, it's not. We never know. With the movie coming out, it could be a banger movie and everyone could be hopping on the bandwagon. But yeah, man, for now, I'd say that this Chainsaw Man era is above 2020 JJK because mainly I lived through this era, like all through this era. And then secondly, it's just because it just wasn't that hype. I'd say 2020 JJK was probably more hype than it. Now, this one's going to disappoint a lot of people, but I have 2023 Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, as admittedly not being the biggest fan of JJK, I can still admit that this year for JJK was literally all JJK. Any other anime that dropped in this year, and I'm a huge Bleach fan, didn't matter. Didn't matter at all because Jujutsu Kaisen was overshadowing everything that dropped with the Nide Win memes, with the whole lobotomy Kaisen thing going on, with the whole celebrities talking about JJK and mentioning JJK in their songs and shit. Gojo versus Sukuna happening weekly. Bro, the entire anime community was in a chokehold. And I don't even want to say the anime community, because the entire world was probably in the chokehold that was Jujutsu Kaisen in this year. It was super duper dominant. It was funny. I'm not gonna lie, Lobotomy Kaisen was probably funny for a couple weeks, then it kind of died out. People just started overdoing it. But yeah, man, all the theme songs and everything all these people had, along with the anime airing with season 2, week after week dropping bangers. Yeah, man, Jujutsu Kaisen really cooked this year. In terms of blow up, I'd say this is most likely the biggest blow up out of any of these. Definitely the biggest blow up out of any of these shows that I'm going to mention on this list. But I feel like the next ones I just like more as a series and enjoyed that era more than I did this era. Anyways, let's move on. Now, if you're a sub to me right now, you probably knew that this would be on this list pretty high and probably thought that this would be number one. You know what I'm talking about. 2022 Blue Lock World Cup era. This era was absolutely insane. Not even gonna lie. It's like Blue Lock was one of the animes coming out in the season of October fall, which was stacked. They had Bleach, Chainsaw Man. But no one was really as hyped as Blue Lock, but Blue Lock fans. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally only Blue Lock fans that were hyped for Blue Lock. So when that shit came out and literally dominated when the World Cup started coming on, bro, the entire world was talking about Blue Lock. If you made a tweet at that time talking about Blue Lock, X World Cup, or the Blue Lock is real, just tweet those words, you would probably get thousands of likes on Twitter. I'm not even joking. That's how popular this series was. The chapters were going viral every week. The panels were being colored every week and getting thousands and thousands of likes. It was at the point where I was just like, bro, I was so tired of seeing Blue Lock on my TikTok For You page, on my Twitter, that I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to hop off these apps for a little bit. Because I was so invested in Blue Lock's story. I was just like, bro, like, it's literally brain rot at this point. I don't know if you guys ever had this, but I literally had brain rot from seeing Blue Lock that much. And it was a story that I really liked more than JJK, all right? So I was really going crazy around this era. The funny part is, I read the manga before this era exactly started. Like, I read the manga when I was watching the anime. I think about at like episode 3. I was like, forget it. I'm going to read the rest of the manga. And I wasn't watching the anime at all. I just said the anime's trash. I'm going to read the manga. So I read the manga. I was like, yo, this is absolutely amazing. And then the era started and everyone was going crazy. And I was just like, bro, we're not ready for season 2, U20. I think we might have another one of those eras again in like maybe season 2 era for October, U20. But the only thing different here is that U20 is not going to have the World Cup backing it like season 1 did or any international football event. So we're going to see how it really performs. I feel like Blue Lock is still a very popular series and a lot of people still talk about it. But yeah, man, we're going to see how it does. Unfortunately, number 1 will always take number 1 in my heart. If you're a long-time subscriber of me, you know that I love this series. And I know, when I say this name, a lot of people are going to be like, bro, that series is trash. That just tells me right there that you weren't in this era. Because this era was quite literally everything I've mentioned so far, compact into a great story, great memes, funny as fuck, TikTok everywhere, Twitter everywhere. It literally took over the world with its first season. Of course, I'm talking about 2021 tokyorevengers era. In terms of length, I'd say this is one of the longest, aside from, I'd say probably Jujutsu Kaisen 2023, where it literally took over the entire year. But this one spans from damn near the entirety of 2021 when the anime dropped in about April or March, I'd say, all the way to the end of 2021. Yeah, nah, this anime was taking over everywhere. And if you come to me in my comments saying, bro, tokyorevengers is trash, it can't do this, I don't give a shit. Because if you guys look at people like Gojo PFPs, Eren PFPs, all these glazed anime characters, bro, if you were there in 2021, tell me everyone didn't have a Mikey PFP. Tell me right now. Literally everybody and their mother had a Mikey PFP. And if you went on TikTok, it was just straight Mikey Glaze saying he's the best Newgen side character and tokyorevengers is the best Newgen. When I say that this series could have been right up there with JJK, I'm not lying, bro. This era was absolutely crazy. And it was one of the biggest I've ever seen a Newgen get. Probably only surpassed by JJK and Demon Slayer. Even though the animation was not that good, I'd say the story and the characters were just so enthralling at that point, where everyone just literally loved the series. This is another one where I'd seen on TikTok, there was actually a challenge with me and my friend to not look at the leaks this week for the chapter. And the chapter's leaks were all over Twitter and TikTok whenever they would come out. So I told my friend, let's not look at the leaks this week. I'm not trying to get spoiled. Let's just look at the chapter. We couldn't control ourselves. Not for 2 days. The chapter was coming out in, I think, 3 days. We couldn't control ourselves. We couldn't. We ended up looking at the leaks either way. Now that just goes to show you how hyped this shit was, because these leaks were getting thousands and thousands of likes. That's my ranking, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to let me know how much you enjoyed it by liking the like button and then hitting the subscribe button to support me. It helps me a lot. Please make sure to ring the notifications bell if you guys really like this content and want to be notified whenever I post. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.